Stream should be going. Are we audible? It started it as a totally separate stream. Well, I'll just kill that one and I will. For now, though, I'm just going to delete the other one. And this will be our stream. It works out because we didn't have anyone waiting. So, welcome to the stream tonight. Tonight, we are doing a tabletop role playing for a little while, and then drawing. What was that? All right. Can you hear yourself coming through on the other end of the stream with your monitoring one?
Let me check.
I'm going to grab my rulebook. Okay, so you let me know when you're ready and we will get going.
I heard myself on the other end, so we should be good. I just need to talk clearly.
Okay. Where did I put my character? There it is.
Oh, yeah. I still haven't had a chance to look at mine. I've been real busy today.
Well, I'm glad I made it for you then so that you actually have one.
Yeah, I had to rush just to get my own stream in and to just get a lot of stuff ready. It's been a really busy day on my end.
Okay, so your character is named Rennet Pyron. He is a member of the Red King's Legion. I'm not really sure what the full army should be called just yet. It's like a full army, and then there's individual legions inside of it, and then like infantry units and other things. So you are a member, I think it was the 13th Legion, 5th Infantry Unit.
All right.
Why does it say chat is disabled for this live stream? Did I set it up as a kid one again?
I may have to...
Made for kids, yep. Let's see, can I just click no, it's not made for kids, save, and then just reload it? Chat is disabled for this live stream. Yep, that looks like it did it. Kid one again.
I may have to...
Made for kids, yep. Already fixed it. Let's see, can I just click no, it's not made for kids, save, and then just reload it? Okay, so you are currently fighting disabled for this live stream. On the kid one again. You're currently fighting on the fringes of the territory. You are in part of a unit whose sole purpose is expansionism. You conquer new territories in the name of the Red King.
All right.
And so my character is in the same unit as yours. Mine is named Bennett, and yours is named Rennet. That was not intentional. I just wasn't thinking when I was doing the name.
Yeah.
We could say that they're like from the same original town or something, and that's why their names are so similar. It'll work out for this session. And then, so this territory, night lasts a long time.
Okay.
So currently the moon is high in the sky. The trees are gently covered with frost. It's starting to get really cold. A lot of evergreen trees. Other trees have largely lost their leaves, but where you are, there's a ton of evergreen, so it'll still feel fairly green. A lot of gray rocks and things like that. Down below, You hear the sound of merriment. You're standing on a hill. It's a town, and they're having some kind of celebration. They are not aware that you have snuck up on them. So just so we're clear, I haven't established a few things. Even though we're using this this is the Warhammer 40k Wrath and Glory rule set. We are not playing within the Imperium, or we're using our own story. There is still technology of the level of some computers and guns and things like that, like lasers. So it's not like a fantasy, purely fantasy. There is technology, but it's still going to have more of a fantasy tone to it. So your current armor, your appearance is that of almost like a semi-futuristic Roman legionnaire bodysuit. Underneath, or not bodysuit, armor. Underneath, you have a black bodysuit that covers every inch of your body up to your neck. It's designed to allow you to fight in the winter with minimal hindrance, and regulates your body temperatures. So you've got your armor over that, and then on your back you have a very large, furry, red cloak.
All right.
Your character is decently built, like fairly large, not thin like we would be in real life, and
Okay.
mine kind of is as well. So we're not brutes per se, but we are. We've been training for a long time. You know, kind of what you'd expect from a soldier in this kind of military.
I see.
Anyways, coming from below are the sounds of merriment, and there's lights. Some basic firecrackers might be popping into the air, and your unit, or your unit, is tasked with taking the city in the name of the Red King. Now, it's not a super big city, almost like a really large town, small city. There are 4 infantry units currently assigned to this task. Each infantry unit is made up of about 50 individuals.
All right.
Our armor and weaponry is a bit more, it is superior to what the defending town will have.
All right.
They're kind of out in the boonies a little bit. So a little bit back and forth, back to a little bit of lore. There is something equivalent to the internet in this world, and it's better than the internet we have. It is not limited by like territories and things like that. They are fully connected, so you know you only have so much time before they're able to send message to an ally or something. So your commander stands on the hill. Rennet, your unit is to attack the south part of the city. I want that there is a battery there that provides power to the rest of the city that is run in a factory. The battery is charged by underground rivers that flow constantly, turning almost like underground windmills. I am not really sure what to call them. And yeah, there you go, turbines. And they are reliant on that battery and the generator attached to it to power the city. If you bring that down, they'll fall to backup systems that will be nowhere near as effective. So, 5th unit, this is your assignment. And with that, he dismisses you. Within the unit is Captain. Let's do. So we'll say that was Legion Master Ares. Now we've got Captain let's go with Titanius. 5th unit. 5th unit leader. Okay. So Captain Titanius says, all right, 5th unit, let's move out. And with that, you begin a
Yes,
quiet
sir.
descent. Huh?
I go, yes, sir.
All right, and so does Bennett. You follow him quietly down the mountain. There, you guys are not using tanks. Some of the other units will have access to that. This is more of a stealthy assignment for us. So do me a favor, and we're not gonna roll stealth just yet since we're moving as a unit. I will roll stealth for the whole unit though.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna say this is a difficulty. We need to pass at least. Let's go with a 3. Perfect. 3 normal icons and 2 exalted ones. So a total of 7. Our team stealths in very well.
Okay.
And we managed to reach not the battery just yet, but to the side of the town looking into the battery. We haven't drawn attention just yet.
Okay.
Captain Titanius stops. He says, "All right. We wait here for the signal." Now, you hadn't been told about the signal, but you're not surprised to hear about it because it's a pretty standard Legion tactic. And so, typically, your character will know the signal when it happens. So you sit there waiting for what feels like an eternity, even though it's only a few minutes. After a bit,
go ahead.
No, go ahead and say whatever you're going to.
While waiting, I'm just like fiddling with some pebbles I found on the ground.
Someone bops you on the shoulder. It's like, Rennet, don't make noise with the rocks.
I know that. I'm being careful.
Fine. But if Captain Titanius decides you're being too loud, you know you're going to run laps. So after a bit, you hear a large boom as something off in the clearly another part of the city just goes up in smoke, and you see fire shooting into the sky along with smoke.
Well, I guess that's the signal.
And with that, Captain Titanius points a finger upward, and everyone looks at him. And then he just points in the direction of the battery, and everyone starts charging in. It doesn't take long till you start running into resistance. So let's go ahead and start doing. We're going to ignore initiative for the moment and just do a series of attacks. So I'm going to give your character the choice. Would you like to focus on melee at the moment or ballistics?
Probably ballistics starting out.
All right, so I need you to roll 3 ballistics rolls in the Discord, and then the number to beat is let's go with a 2. So do you know how to roll ballistics?
I'm assuming it's I roll a 5 on the ballistics skill.
Yes. So you've got the 2 for your ballistics skill, and then is it 3 for your agility? So you add those together, and it's a 5. Which I think your character sheet has the totals, right?
It does, yes.
Perfect. So just roll that total.
Know how to use the bot.
It's /roll, and then you put in the number of dice you need to roll. Welcome to Hollow. We are just getting going.
5. Yeah. We're sneaking up on a settlement, and we are on the attack.
We're trying to take out their. You have a space between your / and your roll.
Oh.
Okay, that's weird. Why isn't it letting you do that? Here, I'll roll for you for the moment. And now it's not letting me either. There you go. Okay, so you managed to pass your first one. Try that again, typing roll, and it should have a pop-up. And you might need to click roll in the pop-up and then enter a number.
I see re-roll, but I don't see roll. Oh, there's roll. Okay. Roll and a 5. There.
Perfect. Okay, so you so both of those rounds, you managed to successfully handle your part of the infantry unit. Go ahead and give me one more.
All right.
Or I guess of the defending unit, because we're the infantry. Awesome. You successfully managed to defeat several of the defending guards. And then I am going to do one roll for myself just so that we don't take forever.
Yeah, I watched a video on ways of making unlike role playing games over video chat more efficient, easier. I'll send you the video later.
Sounds good. Since a lot of the ways I feel like my character is more here to support yours, I'm going to do more like supplementary roles for my character, and we'll focus more on your roles.
Got it.
So my character, man, he's got a sword out, and he is dealing with guards the old-fashioned way.
Good.
Okay, it'll be fine. So after a little bit, we reach the generator, and there is a strange thing we have never seen before sitting on the ground in front of it.
I slowly go to investigate.
All right, roll an investigation.
All right.
Okay, so at the moment, so this is not a Warhammer 40k story, even though we're using a Warhammer 40k role-playing system for it. I thought it would fit well since it is a also grimdark. So we are currently infantry members in a so it's kind of like a futuristic Roman legion, and we are infantry members in the 13th Legion's 5th Infantry Unit. Wow. We function on the fringes of the Red King's territory, and we are currently in the process of trying to conquer a new town in the name of the Red King and expand his territory. We are combining with two other infantry units. Each one has, I think, about 50 souls, and two of them are leading the main attack, and then our unit is responsible for sneaking around to the side and taking out the main power system that powers the city. It is a giant battery connected to a generator that is powered by turbines that sit in an underground lake that runs all year round. And so the main attack on the city has started, and we waited for that to begin. And once that began, we started charging the facility that houses the power generator. Okay, so that would definitely be a fail. I didn't give you one, but you're going to need at least a 3. So you got one icon, and as you get close to this thing, it starts shifting and moving. It's kind of something similar to Babbage from FGO, I think. Yeah, it's some kind of mechanized device. Steam comes shooting out the top, and it stands up.
I open fire.
All right, so you pull your gun out and you just start shooting the thing. Go ahead and let me check my book just real quick, and go ahead and do a ballistics roll for me while I check something real quick.
All right. Rats.
Actually, no, You got 3
I did?
icons. You hit it.
Oh, I see. How I was looking at the Wrath one.
So the Wrath is like a special circumstantial one. What you're interested in mainly is above it, the exalted icons and the normal icons. And then the total icons above is the total you get. 1 exalted icon is worth 2 normal icons.
Got it. All right, so what happens?
Give me just a second. I'm double checking something. Okay, so the way combat works in this one is we function in what are called rounds or turns, and each turn we decide who is going to go next. So your character goes first this round, and then it'll go to the opponent's turn, and then it'll be my character's turn, and back and forth. We're going to keep it simple for now. I'm trying not to make it overly complex since we still got to do the drawing portion later.
Yes.
Or at least I got to.
Yeah. This time I have all my drawing equipment ready ahead of time.
Excellent. I was hoping you'd join me for that. Okay, so you shoot the thing, and your bullets just kind of feels like they just bounce off. You can't tell if you actually did any damage to it or not. Now, let me look up one more thing from the book. So this game uses resistance as instead of AC, meaning that you have the way it would function is, so comparing it to AC, if you've got an AC of 13 and you roll a 16, then the difference would be taken as damage. So you take 2 damage in that kind of scenario.
Right. Right. So where on the character sheet would I find that?
Find the...
Would it be under traits?
Is it resilience?
I see one called
War
the
gear. So we're also kind of figuring this out as we go along.
Yeah. Looks like Carlo Ubel has a question.
Yes, we're going to illustrate part of what's happening when we get to that point, so that we that's what we're going. Yes, that is what we're doing today. Man, I cannot talk tonight.
Yeah, take some deep breaths if you need to.
So we focus on the target's defense. Okay, that's where I was getting confused, because we roll lower numbers. Defense is what we are after in this game. And so since we're not rolling very high, we go off of that. Your max wounds are 7, and your defense is 1. So if they only need to beat a 1 in order to hit you, it looks like. It doesn't feel quite right. Do you have your war gear?
My war gear?
You do have armor on. Oh, that's right. They got to beat your resilience, not simply your defense.
Okay, where's the resilience at?
If you look at attributes, on next box down is
yeah.
traits. So they've got to roll higher than the resilience in order to hit you.
So they have to roll higher than 6.
I'm glad you think that's a good idea, Hollow. I had the idea, like, let's role play a little bit and then draw something from that. And I think that's probably going to become a regular thing on here, and I'm hoping it'll get more enjoyable as we get more familiar using the system.
Yeah, maybe we could even use the drawings for thumbnails for future streams.
That's what I'm hoping for, actually. Okay, so you hit the thing. Roll damage. It looks like the damage is, for that one...
Is it a lasgun?
It's a lasgun, yes.
Okay, so that's 7 plus 1 ED.
Yeah, so roll 7 dice. Or is it 7 dice? Let me double check. Because we could just do straight 7 damage, but I want to make sure that I'm doing this right. If you deal more damage than your target's resilience... Okay, nope, never mind. It's just the 7 plus 1. That's what I'm going to do to keep it simple. The resilience on the thing that we're fighting is a 7. Starting us off with a nice, strong bad guy.
So I literally just take one small bit of damage off of it.
Yes. Don't worry, we're not gonna. We're gonna have some opportunities to think through how to beat this thing. So
Right.
it then takes a swing at you, and it's going to have a. I'm going to give it an 8 for its that thing, and your resilience is. I actually have your character sheet here, 6, and it rolled a 9. So you take. Oh, and it got a glory on its die. So that's a critical success for it. But critical success in this game doesn't work exactly like it does in D&D. Like, it's not necessarily double damage. It just means something good happens for it.
All right.
And I'll figure out glory pools another night. So you have been hit by this thing, and it sends you sailing. Like, up in the air. Yeah, and you go slamming into a wall back towards the entrance, and you're just kind of like out of breath, not even able to say ow. And then, so my character is going to open fire at it from a distance. And my shots miss it entirely. No, wait, what did I say? It's got a resistance of
7.
7. I feel like I did something wrong with your first hit. Oh well, we're gonna keep going with this. So what was that? Oh no, it was a 3 to hit, but its resilience is. I'm having a hard time keeping track of all this. It's my first time ever DMing this system, and I was reading through the book earlier. We will figure this out.
Right, so how much health do I have now?
So you have. You lost 3 health, so you have 4 health left.
Okay.
Where did I put the book down? We're going to be in and out of this book constantly, it feels like. I was trying to get Foundry going because you can actually just, it'll load the book in. And then you can keep, like, all the rules and stuff open just right there on screen.
Okay. That would have been nice.
Yes.
Hopefully we can get that up next time.
I definitely will do that next time. Okay, I got it. So we rolled a hit against defense, and then the difference is for damage done against resilience. So that I had it right when I was doing your character. So my character hits, but I only deal another 1 damage to the thing. So yeah, it's got. I'm gonna write this: monster defense 3, resilience 7. And then it's turn again. It's going to open up. So you watch as its shoulder pads just kind of lift up. And there's these 2 giant drum-looking things underneath that start glowing red.
Oh, no.
After a moment, everything just turns red in the room.
We're in the room already?
Sorry, were we in? Yeah, we went into the room after we killed the outside infantry.
Okay, good. That didn't come across well.
Sorry, yes, we killed the outside infantry and we went into this thing, and we wondered why there wasn't more infantry, and this is why. So this thing is going to roll a nice big amount. And these things just fire. And all you see is everything turn red for a second. And you feel the heat on your skin. And you instinctively close your eyes because I don't want your character to go blind just yet. We just got started.
Right.
And you hear screams as and then a horrible smell. As you open your eyes, a lot of your unit has been hit. Some people are just laying like piles of smoke and muck on the ground, and this thing just did a number to a lot of them. It almost looks frozen for a moment as its red things are slowly starting to cool.
Yeah. Will I be able to do something soon?
It is. Let's go with it's the rest of the unit's turn.
Okay.
And what do you think they should do? Lob some grenades at the thing, or?
Yeah, probably.
So let's see. Not everyone fits in the room. So how many people do you think? Well, we'll play this kind of collaboratively where we can build a scene together. How many people
That's
do you think
kind of what
probably
I think.
squeezed in through the door up to this point?
Probably 4, 5 if we really want to squeeze ourselves in.
So it's a big room. Like we're not talking about little. We're talking like the inside of a warehouse size.
Oh,
That house is a
probably
massive generator.
probably 24, 25.
Okay, so about half the people in our unit. We'll say we just lost about half of them with that blast.
Half of the half or half the half?
We are down. A quarter of our unit is alive in this room,
Okay.
and the other half that we came with is outside, and the other quarter is dead in this room with us.
Got it.
So, let's go with. I'm going to go with 13. Wow. Well, they managed to hit it. I rolled one die for each unit member. And we got 3 icons, so they managed to hit it, kind of. We'll say 3 grenades hit it. Each grenade does... Is there grenade damage in this book somewhere?
Is there an index in the back?
There is. Ranged weapon, grenade. Here we go. Frag grenade, damage 10. So it got hit with 3 of those. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. That means it just took 9 damage. So it is currently got 12 damage done off of its body. And it's got some paint scraping off in a few places, and you felt it shake a little bit with that last one. And there's some cracks on the floor, and you're pretty sure the generator took a little bit of damage from the size of that explosion.
Okay.
And it is your character's turn again.
All right. So, I'm gonna. Are those shoulder things still out cooling?
They are. They're still up cooling, and they're slowly starting to descend back into the main body.
I'm gonna shoot at one of them.
All right, go ahead and roll a ballistics. You need to. Okay, a 3 normally hits it, and you rolled a 2, so your shot just kind of goes wide, and you completely miss the thing.
I'm gonna try and. Am I able to make a movement before my turn's done?
Yes, you can move closer to it.
No, I was gonna move it, find some cover.
Oh, that works too. Yeah, you shoot as you jump behind cover. Your cape lightly
Oh, I have a cape.
Yeah, remember I said you've got a big old red furry cloak cape
Oh,
thing?
right.
So you jump as it's like just a little singed and kind of the smell of burnt fur coming off of it. You like are trying to tap it out as you take cover behind a bunch of barrels and stuff. The machine is still cooling down, but as its shoulders are cooling down, it starts lifting up its arms and turning towards the door, so that it can get ready to attack the doorway to make sure no one else comes in. So then it is my character's turn. I am going to use. Would it be insight? Awareness. I'm going to roll awareness. I need to beat a 3 to get an idea of what else is going on in this room. All right, nice. That's a good roll. And I got a crit success on my awareness. So, what kind of things should be around this room that
Probably, probably some equipment that's highly volatile that would blow if an expert ain't handling it.
Okay, so there are some additional battery packs along one of the walls for the robot. Um,
Hmm.
what if the robot is hardwired into the generator and drawing his power directly from it?
That would make sense for its weapon system, but I would assume it has its own independent power source for
Just like normal weapons and things, but like maybe that big weapon is drawing power directly from the generator?
exactly, yes.
Okay, that works. Um, and then maybe there's like large machines hanging from the ceiling that are used to move things around, or like hooks and things. Kind of like in The Force Unleashed, the TIE fighters were suspended from large hanging things,
Right. That's
hands and things. And then there's also a second level that we can see, and some stairs that lead up to it, and more crates and other things up there.
got it.
So my character starts shouting to everyone about all the things that we just spotted. And that is my character's turn. Now it is the robot's turn. And
Oh
he's
boy.
going to open fire on the door. Let's see. And it's a door, so I mean, it's not like he's got to roll very high to hit it. And he does. He only needed a 2. So we watch as these large bullets and lasers just start ripping through the concrete wall of the door. The door like literally comes off the hinges in a matter of seconds and goes flying against the constant bullets hitting it. And we hear some death sounds as some people behind the wall are no longer with us.
I'm just upset at most of my at the death of my guys and how much of us are falling.
Yeah, it one thing that would definitely carry over from like 40K to this universe is like pride and battle and things like that. Um, a lot of these people just died a very unglorified death. And so it is now the rest of the people in the room's turn. There are about, let's say, about 13 left. Uh, I'd say there's probably no more grenades after that volley. And so, what do you think we should have them shooting at?
I'd say have it shooting at its legs.
Okay, so we've got 13 people. I'm going to roll this. And we'll say 7 hit. I know I'm doing it. Breach. Yeah. So the way I'm going to do it for multiple people is I'm just going to roll all of them. And
Yeah,
for the
I
amount,
know.
say the amount over is the amount of people that hit.
Okay, in both Saga Edition and D&D Fourth Edition, there are rules for having a single stat block for a group of enemies are soldiers.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. And these guys, not any of them rolled a critical success. We forgot to take care of the glory, the kind of the success component of my last roll. What should be like something that works out in our favor?
Yeah, probably. That is a good question.
What if the cord that is connected to the generator powering the large machine is glowing bright red, just like the blast? Kind of, it looks very visible. Like, hey, that's drawing power from that, making it extremely obvious.
Right, that could work.
Okay, so let's say that our guys are shooting at the legs and at that.
Okay.
So they roll. We had 7 people hit, and this thing has that. They're all shooting las guns. So 7 people hit. That thing just took another 7 damage. So 12 plus 7, I believe, is 19 damage total taken for that thing. And the legs get wobbly. You're not sure if that thing's going to be able to turn anymore. And a few of the bullets bounce, or a few of the lasers bounce off of that pipe that is connected to the generator. And it's got some kind of shielding on it because the lasers seem like they just bounced right off of it.
Okay.
Right. It is this thing's turn again. We're supposed to alternate every turn. The reason I went straight to yours last time is because it was cooling down. So you watch as the lasers on top close the rest of the way. And there's even like a hissing sound as steam just kind of shoots out of some vents next to them, spitting out a bunch of heat. You watch as these eyes on the top of its head start looking around all over the place, trying to figure out where you are. And you recognize it as kind of a... Actually, go ahead and roll me an awareness real quick.
Okay, I'll get that done. Okay. Awareness. Okay.
You don't see squat. And I'm going to roll an awareness as well. Okay, my character sees it.
And a glory.
Oh, nice. Well, it's one of the fun things about rolling on a bot like this is everyone can see the rolls. Okay, so you don't see it, but I'm able to call it out to you in time. The lenses are shifting to a specific shade of red and green that we know is used for night vision, and the other one is used for thermal, infrared. So this thing is starting to try to track us through places where we're concealed. I'm not technically concealed behind anything just yet, and you are currently concealed behind some crates.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the glory as I'm standing just outside of its firing range at the moment. All right, so this thing pulls out another thing on its shoulder, not at the top of the shoulder where the big blasters would have been, but more like the side shoulder or sidearm or something pops up, and it points it in the direction that you're at, hiding behind the crate.
Oh boy.
Let's see.
Crate better do something for me.
And this is not the strongest weapon, so it's a hit.
Okay. No advantage or disadvantage from cover?
You would have gotten a +2 from the cover, but it rolled a 5. So, you how much health do you have left?
4.
4. So this thing's You lost another 3 health as everything in front of you just goes exploding. And you're down to 1 health.
Okay. I have my iPad over here to keep track of my health.
I believe you've got 2 health, or no, 1 health left?
Yes, that's what I just put down.
Man, I hope your character doesn't die in the first session.
Well, if I die in the first session, I'll just take over one of the other unit members.
That works. Okay, now it is your character's turn.
All right.
Roll me an awareness real quick.
Okay. Let's awareness 4. And
all right. So your character gets the idea that if he can manage to get over to where my character's at, he might not get shot for a little bit.
all right, I'm gonna run towards your character while firing.
All right. So roll ballistics. Okay, there you go. You good shot right on the arm where it was shooting you from, and you do some damage. You're not going to be shooting me with that thing again or something like that. As you put an end to that small launcher, and you manage to make it over to where my character is. I am just on the side of it, almost like if you were facing me, I wouldn't be standing. It wouldn't be straight behind you. It'd be off to the side a little bit, at an angle,
Okay.
or something like that. That might not be the best example. The point is, we are behind it to an angle. We're in a little bit of a blind zone. From the back, though, it just looks like a ton of armor.
All right.
So we are going. It's its turn, and I'm trying to decide if it's just going to keep shooting out the door, or if it's going to turn to try to deal with us. I think it's more likely to keep shooting at the door, considering there's still like another
There's still more
20 people outside.
And we still have 13 inside.
Yeah. So, you know what? It's got another one of those things on its other arm, and so it's going to fire that at the people still in the room. Okay, that is definitely a hit, and a glory. So it just got it's a critical success. How do we want that critical success to manifest?
I think we should do a separate dice roll where it's odds, everyone's dead, evens, most are dead with the remainder injured.
All right, that works. I'm going to just roll 1 die. Odds or evens for everyone dead?
Evens for everyone. No, odds for. Yeah, evens for everyone dead.
It's odds. Everyone else in the room is now injured, and some are dead. As a massive explosion goes off around them. And you hear some people shouting things like, "This is not what I signed up for." And you hear other people shouting, "Be silent. There's no honor in whining." Sorry. Okay, it is now my character's turn, and I am going to pull out, where did I put that? My sword. I just have a generic sword, and I'm going to go over and start trying to hack away at that thing behind it. So I run over behind it, and as I do, we notice some sensors go off on its back. So this may or may not go well, and I'm going to do a weapon skill roll on the tube. What should I? What do you think? A 4 in order to pop the thing?
Yes.
Nice. I rolled a 4 as I managed to put a slish in the big old power cord, and red exhaust just comes spewing out of it. And my character just goes as I get blasted with intense heat. And I kind of jump backwards and fall to the ground. Okay, now it's its turn as the sensors in the back cause another weapon system to open up, and it's getting ready to take a shot at me. Say it needs to roll at least a 3 in order to hit. And it does! As I take, it hits me with some kind of explosive shell, and I'm going to take 5 damage. That means I now... Oh, I just realized I could track the damage on this character sheet thing that we're using. I have 2 health left.
That's better than mine.
By a point.
Exactly.
We might both die before this is over. Okay, so that's its turn, and now it's our unit's turn. And you hear someone shout, "Clear!" as everyone jumps out of the door. I'm going to roll in 7 for this one. That was a roll for the wrong.
For the game.
Yeah, that rolled for the Aliens RPG because I have 2 bots installed. But
that's a new interface from the one we used before.
Yes, but we'll go ahead and count it because look, we've got a 4, which counts as a normal icon, and there are 3 6s there.
All right, let's see how this turns out.
First, I would be Wrath, so there's no glory or thing. But there are 3 6s, so that is the equivalent of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 icons. So we watch as a bright light comes just blasting in from outside as someone managed to set up a laser cannon. And that thing just punches a hole right through the lower half of the robot. And it makes like a perfectly melted hole. I'd say the hole is probably about as big as a small child in terms of length. And then you just turn it around so it's a perfect circle. And we just both kind of stare at it. I'm glad that it didn't hit me since I'm kind of laying on the ground close to the thing. And yeah, it's now the robot's turn again. And it's not moving. You can tell its bottom function is completely done. It starts trying to lift the lasers on its shoulder again. And starts sparking as it does from the lasers on the shoulder. And it continues to shoot out the door.
Is the output of the lasers affected by the damage you did to the hose?
Yes, and that's why. So the shoulders are coming up where the big lasers on it are, and they're sparking as they do. And the damage where I cut the pipe is spewing out even higher and faster now.
Okay. I'll be right back. I need to just inform someone about something.
Okay. So, Hollow, how's life since Joseph's stream earlier? And welcome to anyone else who has joined us as well. We're glad that you're here.
I am back.
Welcome back. So it is now the turn of, let's see, robot got blasted. As everyone outside shot it, that is the everyone else turn. So we're back to the robot. It's trying to shoot it. Its laser. It's sparking from the shoulders, and the pipe is spewing out red stuff like crazy. And let's see if it manages to get its shoulders up and make a fire. Because of the damage, I'm going to increase what it has to beat to a, let's go with a 5. And it doesn't. So it gets its lasers up, and it manages to, everything goes bright red for a second, and then you hear a pop as the shoulders just start smoking. And then the laser, or not the laser, the pipe just starts glowing an even brighter red. That runs the engine. It is now your character's turn.
I go over to your character and start dragging him away.
My character's like, wait, I can still kill it. I can still kill it.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't have much longer to live.
All right, so roll me a, let's go with just a strength check.
All right, strength 3.
You need to beat a 1. I think that's pretty easy for your character. Perfect. So my character's still
glory.
like, what? And the glory? All right, so you managed to like somehow, even though you've only got 1 health left, managed to almost like heft me up on your shoulder and run away in a nice cartoon style. And what do we say the glory is that the robot, like that pipe that's connected to it, just pops.
Yeah, see that? You did that.
It's like, I'll take it. And so the robot starts sputtering as its main power source has been disconnected. Its batteries are punctured from the hole blown right through its lower half. And it is now like, just like twitching as, let's go for like when a robot dies in Final Fantasy 7 or something, it twitches for a bit and then just goes boom. That kind of thing, as a massive explosion kind of rocks the whole room and shoots off in every direction. That is the robot. Yeah, that robot got messed up. You are right.
Okay, I think we should go check on our pals who are pretty worse for wear.
You say that as your body just kind of falls to the ground. Your legs give out.
I think someone needs to check on me too.
And at that, the rest of the unit starts making their way in the room. No longer restricted by the giant robot. We do wonder why there wasn't more infantry than we had. But then we hear some more explosions rocking from outside, and we realize they probably figured the robot was enough with the other guards that they left here, and all the rest of the town's infantry is out probably trying to protect the rest of the town. So let's see. We both have basic Medicae is what it's called. I am going to roll a heal on myself. I have the Born Survivor talent, so I can actually roll my survival instead of Medicae to remove my own wounds.
All right.
Actually, you know what? We're almost done with the play session and almost to the drawing session. So let instead of rolling for heals, I'm going to say that they bring the cannon in, they set it up and point it at the generator. And since the generator is a not moving target, they just puncture a hole in the thing.
Okay.
And that is the generator. With the generator now destroyed, the like red smoke is spewing everywhere from the generator, and everything in the room goes black, and you can hear the town just kind of go as the energy just shuts down everywhere. Everything just kind of goes dark.
Well, at least the enemy can't find us.
And that there's probably some truth to that. The main units would probably have some goggles and stuff to help them see in the dark. Our unit does not, since they decided that we didn't really need it for our mission. And we have brought the power down for this portion of the town. It takes a little while, but the other infantry units do manage to defeat the rest of the defenses in the town. And the town is now subjugated in the name and conquered in the name of the Red King. Our territory has been successfully expanded.
Yay. It only took me almost all the blood in my body to pour out.
My character doesn't feel much better. But after some time with a healer, and they ended up not needing to redeploy us to anywhere else for the rest of the town. We'll say we recover before the next session. But so that's it. We destroyed a factory. We helped conquer a town, and that is that portion of that. That is the play portion of tonight's stream. Now we begin the drawing portion in just a bit.
All right. I'll need to set up.
I suspected we'd both just need a moment to do that. So what did you think of your... Oh, he completely dropped to rejoin. And that is the first introduction to the world that this is playing in. So I'm going to work on getting the drawing stuff set up. Actually, let's leave that one on Discord because I have that one with a custom size. And let's set window capture drawing. There we go. All right, we'll get the drawing stuff going here in just a second. Yeah. About setting this one to 1920 by 1440. Yeah, sure, we'll do that. It doesn't need to be a perfect size. It just needs to be drawable. All right, I will go ahead and get started until Joseph is able to join. I think I'm going to resize it like that. And then work on centering this. That is roughly, that should be roughly the same dimensions as my monitor, if not the same. But Joseph's working on a 1080p screen. Okay, let's shrink it down to 1920 by 1080 so he can actually see it and isn't scrolling all over the world. Okay. Move my drawing tablet forward a little bit. Oh, I'm glad you thought that was interesting. It's been a while since I've ran a game like that, so I was hoping it would be enjoyable.
Alright, sorry I accidentally left this chat.
Well, welcome back.
Okay, so
I am working on getting the thing going. It's going to be on pub.drawpile.net like we've been doing. Usual password.
okay.
Let's see. What do you think we should draw? I was thinking about like maybe towards the end as the robot's getting ready to explode. I could also do like both of us trying to take cover as it's firing the big red blast or something, and
Yeah, I think the second one would be good.
us taking cover as it's firing the big red blast.
Yes. I think that would definitely be a good one. Yeah. How about you do an outline before we before we get started in earnest?
I am working on kind of a simple layout. Yeah, so there are things about the world that I am working on that are going to be similar to Warhammer 40k. One of the big differences is it's not space. The Red King simply rules over a single kingdom, and he's working on conquering the entire planet.
So the technology would definitely be on the sci-fi end of things.
Yes, technology is definitely a little bit more on the sci-fi end of things. I'd say their technology is not quite as advanced as what they've got in 40k.
But advanced, but definitely more than what we have.
See, I don't think we need kind of this wall thing on this side.
And when after you get the outline set up, could you make three layers for me?
Yeah. So I'll talk more about the lore of the world here in just a second as I get this stuff set up. This is that world I was talking about previously where it's like really cold all the time, and they've kind of got that like these advanced bodysuits that cover just like everything from the neck down, and then they wear armor on top of that, and it lets them fight pretty unrestricted in cold regions.
Okay, good. Everything's hooked up.
I decided to do this basic sketch with my right hand tonight just to save some time, and then I'll work on actually filling in the portions with the with my other hand. All right, there's 3 layers for you.
All right, I'll name them.
Yeah, so the Red King, he is kind of a he would be the, I guess you could say, kind of the equivalent to the Emperor in this universe. Why did I just stop? Oh, I accidentally deleted the other layers. That's probably why.
Oh.
Apparently, Control Z will remove the layers. So the Red King is kind of similar to the Emperor. He's been a lot. He was not like born way before the Empire started or the Kingdom, like the Emperor of Mankind was, and he is definitely not immortal. He is in some ways like similarly enthroned, his dying body connected to a machine. I just call it the Red Throne. He does not have like 1,000 souls offered to him every day to stay alive, and he does not have the expansive psychic power that the Emperor does. In fact, he doesn't have any psychic power at all. He simply rules through electronic distribution of information, like computers and systems and things like that. You gonna start working on the big thing over there, or
No, I was just testing. I'm still waiting for you to put up a good thing to work with.
I'm gonna put your character right here. And actually, what do you want your character doing?
I think he's holding his gun out as he's looking over his shoulder opposite the side he has his gun out with his back to the crate.
So maybe some kind of like this.
Yeah. And do you have a picture of the armor?
Somewhere. Just make it up at this point.
All right.
You know, he's got a black suit with kind of Roman type armor over the top, and he's got like the fur cape thing over the top.
All right. I think I have an idea of what it looks like.
Yeah, so thing keeps him alive, but he's got no psychic power. There's no souls, and the reason he's called the Red King is because he underwent a mutation or kind of an evolutionary process at one point in his past, where his hair just turned blood red and his eyes turned blood red, and like his reflexes and everything about him just got stronger and faster and more powerful. And at this point, he's the only person who's ever kind of underwent that evolutionary process. Uh, so he's called the Red King because of the red eyes and the blood red hair. Um, physically, he's stronger, or he at the time that he wasn't connected to the thing, he would have been stronger than most people. Now the machines keep him alive. His religious empire is a little different than the emperor's. That's still kind of a religious at its core. I just find it works well for grimdark things. The one of the big differences is there aren't necessarily inquisitors, and there isn't anything like there's no issues with witches or mutants. In fact, both things are acceptable. The reason is the kingdom started out inside of a giant prison, and then the kingdom grew from within the giant prison until it started taking over surrounding territories. Um, so there are mad scientists experimenting on people trying to find ways to enhance them and make them stronger, uh, and such like that. So mutations perfectly acceptable. People with powers, uh, common and acceptable as well. As long as whatever strength they have is in service of the Red King, he doesn't really care what kind of powers or anything they have. One thing that is so there is the Red Kingdom, which is kind of your religious zealot place. Uh, some people might even consider them the bad guys, um, depending on how you want to look at them. There, outside of the kingdom, is the free world, and the free world is kind of more like the world that we live in, just a little bit more in the future. You've got a lot more belief systems, a lot more people who are kind of just free to live their lives whatever way that they want. Where the Red Kingdom is meant to be more like your religious tyrannical rule. One of the differences, though, is kind of idea I'm exploring with is the Red King is very good at rewarding people and finding ways to keep them happy. He doesn't rule through fear. He rules through recognition, and so he makes people feel good about themselves and makes people want to follow him that way rather than like you follow my rule or you die. Um, but at the same time, he still has like his religious laws and things like that, and so but he's not. So the Emperor of Mankind and Warhammer, he's the like the deity people worship and things like that. The Red King is not the deity, nor does he claim to be. Um, he doesn't even claim to be a voice for it. He is simply the king. Um, and so there are different people with different religious belief systems inside of the kingdom, and he allows that as long as they don't break like some basic tenets of the kingdom, which I'm still working out. Those are punishable by death, but as long as the religions within the kingdom uh, preach those basic laws and practice them, they can have various different beliefs. So there's a quick rundown on the kingdom, the king, and the free world outside of it. What do you? Any feedback on those ideas, Joseph, or anyone else that's listening? Because I would not be opposed to getting some feedback.
Sounds pretty good so far. Yeah. Well, yeah. I would think that some communities within the kingdom try to see how far they can stretch the rules before someone comes to tell them they're taking it too far.
They did it first at the place that the current story in the current point in the timeline is like 600 years after the Red King established himself. So people don't do that too much at this point, but they definitely did at that point. Yeah, because I know the Emperor's, at least his original ideas are more atheist minded, responding to Hollow. Um, the Red King is not like that at all. He much prefers the idea of allowing the people their religions. Uh, like I said, as long as they follow the basic laws of the kingdom within doing so. If the religion is known to break the laws of the kingdom, he will wipe them out. Um, let's see. I need to pull up that real quick. Good thing for having multiple monitors. Okay, there we go. Hollow said you had a question or something and he missed it. Do you remember
I
what
had
it
a
was?
question.
When I was asking for feedback.
Oh yeah, it was in regards to the how how far how often do people usually push the limits of their of what is acceptable to preach before someone comes to tell them, hey, you're overdoing it, backtrack it a bit.
Yeah, so pushing the limits of the Red King's tolerance, essentially, um, and the answer to that was the current point in time is about 600 years after the Red King showed up and started conquering everything. So the kingdom is well established at this point. At first, people would push those limits a lot. But when they quickly discovered that they were nowhere strong enough to take on the Red King, that started falling away pretty quick, where people would stop testing the king's limits. And at this point in time, it's just kind of like accept the king's rule or be wiped out if you're not going to be in harmony with the rules of the kingdom. The robot has a big bottom, kind of like Babbage's, though it's not going to be quite shaped the same. He sits more almost flat on the ground. With more like tank treads. And there's that red cable kind of sticking out the back. Don't want to make him look too humanoid. Whoa. Why did that just happen? That was weird. On my Linux machine at the moment, and for some reason my Wacom tablet just reset itself across all displays, so I had to put it back. Alright, so there's the basic appearance of the robot.
Lights.
And then he had these big old things up here.
Better.
And these opened up kind of like that. My character might actually not even be visible from this angle, so I'll just focus on the robot. Now to switch back to left hand. It was nice to use my right hand for drawing just for a moment, but it was already starting to hurt just by sketching in the things that I did.
Yeah. Yeah, that stinks.
So the Legionnaires, I did use the title Legions for a couple reasons. One, because I really like the use of the word Legion in Warhammer, but I also just kind of think Roman war history is really cool. And so legions because of that. I don't call them squads like they do in Warhammer. I call mine units, and then I'm going to keep more of an actual Roman appearance to the armor as I work that out. I did one stream a little while ago where I started trying to work out a design using some ideas from Stable Diffusion. Do you remember that one, Joseph?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm using one of those designs to base the armor on my guy off of.
Perfect. Yeah. So I'll probably bust those out and start doing my own designs based on loosely on some of the stuff that was coming out of that. Because I have some ideas now that I've had time to think through it. I liked Wrath and Glory, though. It'll be fun to learn more about the system and put it to use.
Yeah, it was a positive experience going through this.
I was looking forward to doing Starforge tonight, but I really wanted to give Wrath and Glory a try.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta. Okay.
Thinking I might do like a drawing basics stream one of these nights where I go over drawing the human figure
That would be good.
using kind of the simple system that I used to draw the human figure.
Yeah, it'd be a good way to show people the to give people an insight into your thought process when you do art.
It's kind of what I was thinking as well. I also had the thought maybe I could people could give me pose ideas and then I would practice drawing out the different poses and trying to apply my drawing system that I like to use in a variety of ways that poses I don't typically think of.
That would be good.
One of the interesting things about role-playing games is like I'll imagine it one way in my head while we're playing, and then I'll go to draw it and it looks completely different.
Yeah.
What I was imagining in my head looked a lot more like Babbage from Fate Grand Order.
Ah.
But I don't want the end result to look that much like him, so.
Of course. We don't want to plagiarize.
Exactly. I'm still trying to work out, like, powers in my world.
Yeah, that is pretty important.
I know that there are sorcerers and there are healers who utilize powers. The core religion in the kingdom worships some beings called the Celestials. And the light of the Celestials is the power that is wielded by clerics for healing.
Ah. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Professor Dungeon Master lately. And
Go ahead.
huh? And he talks about magic and how to and he runs fantasy setting of his own making, inspired by the Warhammer fantasy setting. And one of the things he came up with, spellcasting always has you, excuse me, rolling on a chart to not only see if you succeed, but to see if there are any adverse effects when you spellcast.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Hollow says the design is looking original for the robot, so I am glad for that.
Yes. So.
As time goes on, we'll start referring to things by different terms, like las cannon or las pistol were the names I was using because those are the names of the weapons in the rulebook. And I don't want to just start renaming everything because then it's going to become like, what are we referring to again?
Yeah. Eventually, we're gonna have to either make our own system or just come up with a nice conversion.
I am already hard at work making my own system, actually.
Oh, that's pretty good to hear.
And so eventually I will migrate this story that we started to using that system. It's one that's going to be built specifically for the world. Um, Weapon names and such will reflect that. Let's see, this robot, I'm not sure exactly how these close, but I'm not going to worry about that at the moment just yet. I kind of want to at least get the basic drawing in before it gets super late.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, so my goal for the system I'm working on is simplicity. Uh, a lot of role playing systems get really complex, but I want something that's so easy to run that you could even run it solo without a DM fairly easily. And so I been kind of hard at work on that. The one I'm working on is going to be, it's also a success based system. Uh, but instead of rolling a ton of different dice, there's always just 2 dice. And so I'm trying to work out how that works and like find the sweet spot for defining what's a success and what isn't a success, and trying to make all that work.
Yeah, I've seen the prototype to his system, and I ran a simple game for it, and it so far it shows a lot of promise. I'm excited to for it to get to a
Like a full system level.
yes full system level, and between what I've how your game works as of right now and what I've been learning from Professor Dungeon Master, I am very confident I could make a good module for it.
Well, one of the things I'm going for is the core system is going to be free once I get that done. I want to give kind of, I guess, open source, and people can build what they want off of it within reason. um,
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like some credit and stuff if they
Mm-hmm.
do use it, but I don't know about like profit sharing and all that just yet because I'd like to get the system done before I start worrying about all that.
Right. It's a reasonable want.
But yeah, I want to give the core system away for free. The
Yeah.
core system won't have any story or lore attached to it, and then I'm going to have the full version, which is going to include my own lore with it as well.
Yeah. That's definitely something to look forward to. But in the meantime, I'm hoping to have plenty of fun with how we're doing things and how we're eventually gonna do things. And more fun like I'm going to have tomorrow on my stream.
What are you doing on your stream tomorrow?
Well, I don't know if I'll be... Actually, yes, I will be streaming FGO tomorrow. There's some interludes I can do, but after that, it will be the second session of my solo Dungeons and Dragons role-playing.
That sounds great. Do you have a time in mind for when you're going to start that?
Somewhere between 6 and 7, depending on how busy the rest of my day is.
PM Mountain Time?
Yes, Mountain Time. Yeah, I'm still not used to the time differences.
Yeah, so
but
he's in Mountain Time and I'm in Central Time in the U.S.
Right. And what was yes, so I'm gonna try and give somewhere between a 10-minute to 30-minute buffer between my FGO stream and my solo Dungeons and Dragons stream. Yeah, and another update in that front is I searched online and found scans of the original game pieces used, and I'm hoping to import them into Tabletop Simulator. So you guys will actually be able to see what Axel looks like officially.
But we already know what Axel looks like.
Yeah. But regardless, he's going to have a better visual representation than the game piece I used last time.
All right.
Yeah, as well as Georgie the jailer. So, I don't know how far I'll get in tomorrow's session, but I will be definitely going as far as I can. I fully intend to have a character generated by the end, if not sooner.
Hollow agreed with me. We all know what Axel looks like. Like I said, down with Organization 13.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe one of these nights we would do another Wrath and Glory. So we'll probably definitely stick with role playing. I kind of like that as an idea for this channel, and then I'll play some other games on the side for the draw and plays. But I think maybe making role playing a more central idea is going to be a good move. So we'll definitely do some more sessions of this one, but I'd also like to do some actual like Wrath and Glory sessions that are Warhammer 40k.
That would be good.
Yes, Hollow's down with Organization 13 as well.
Well, we shall see what happens to Axel as we get through the game tomorrow.
And if we don't do Wrath and Glory, we do have that other one we started, just the two of us, while you were still visiting. We started playing the Rogue Trader tabletop game.
Yes. Not first edition, though.
With my crazy missionary character.
Yeah. How about since we didn't play that first session on stream, how about we
recap it a little?
Recap it here so people will know what they're getting into.
Okay, so that character, my character was a missionary. Yours was more of a warrior.
Warrior minor tech savant.
Yeah, we were playing the Rogue Trader RPG, the tabletop one, and
not first edition though. I think was it second edition.
I'm not sure. It was whichever one they did the last Humble Bundle for that one for.
All right.
Because that's where I got all the PDFs for that one. And so, you know, we were working with a Rogue Trader. We got dropped off planet side with some mission that I don't remember. But
we're looking for an artifact.
Yeah, and we got while we were down there, we made a deal with the local Mechanicus institution, department, whatever you want to call them, settlement, that we would help locate something for them so that they could finish repairing something for us. Kind of, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And so we went in search of their missing item or resources, which led us into kind of a gang hive. And so after a brutal battle on the outside, actually, so my missionary, he always tries to convert people to the emperor first.
Yeah, I realized. Oh, before that, we were asking questions at the local pub, and he was converting everyone left and right, and my character is like, "What the heck is going on here?"
Yeah, so my missionary is very zealous in spreading the word of the emperor of mankind in that story. And I'm pretty sure your character is just like watching it. My character is like practically standing on a table or something, declaring the name of the emperor.
More or less.
And people are just listening, and your character's like, I've never actually watched him do his missionary thing before. It's kind of inspiring.
Yeah, he's surprisingly good at it.
And so, anyways, when we finally make our way to this place where we're going to fight, I managed to convert one of the guys outside the door and send him on his merry way, pondering his life and the value of service to the emperor. So with him gone, we start actually trying to get inside the base and end up having to fight our way in. And after a little while, we get down to a room at the very end where they've got the thing that we're after. And
Yes,
why don't you tell them
yeah.
about how we got in
Yeah.
there?
So, we saw some more guards. I don't know if we knocked them out or if we converted them, but regardless, we dealt with them.
The first ones we ran into, I'm pretty sure we had to kill.
Yes. Yeah, but I was referring to the inside. But regardless, we found the main room where there's partying and some side rooms. One of them was like a bathroom, I guess, and the other was where they were keeping a lot of drugs. And I got one of my most inspired ideas in all of tabletop RPGing. I decided I want to weaponize his ability to convert people. So I get some cloths, wet them in the bathroom, wrap them around mine and his face. I get what I need to start a little fire outside the door. I put the drugs onto the fire, and I crack the door into the party room and put the vials in there, and it the drugs get boiled and start steaming the entirety of the inside of the party room, making everyone higher than the highest heavens. And then I tell Sam's character to go in there to be the emperor. I don't know if I had to convince him that it wasn't sacrilege to pretend to be the emperor in this instance, but I convinced him, and he went in, and I
It was
start getting,
something like, you're the emperor's mouthpiece. Be the emperor. Channel the emperor, something like that.
yeah, more or less. And I did my best to do a light show behind him. So he went in and pretended to be the emperor to all these excessively high criminals and partygoers. And he, yes, I was concerned about that, but I convinced him. And so he went in there. He's saying he is the emperor. He has come to convince them that he is the way, and they must go and pledge themselves at the nearest church. And they all do that. They go, believing the emperor has come to them to personally tell them to become his disciples. So
And
they
then our
all,
characters are like, and we will never speak of this again.
yes. So we air out the room of all the drugs that were permeating the room, and we find what we're looking for. and we take it back to the guys we were taking it back to. They've finished the repairs on the vehicles. My character he's not ready to believe fully in the Emperor, but he does believe in his friend. He's willing to accept as a friend now. And now they're riding off to their next mission, to the main mission.
Well, that was a fun one. My character, he's a little radical in his worship of the Emperor. It probably is. But it did make for a fun session that night.
Yes.
And we are off in like the fringes of space. My character, he is a poorly trained missionary, for lack of a better description. Largely self-taught, converted on some miraculous account of something that happened to him. I don't even remember the details of his background very much. But our characters are both from like the middle and nowhere in the space, places where the Emperor's almost like forgotten that they exist, or if the Emperor hasn't, it feels like the Imperium has. And so they're just trying to figure it out as they go along. Needless to say, not all our characters go that way, but that definitely made for an interesting session that night.
Yes, and it will be nice to revisit them again.
Yeah, maybe we'll have them actually run into some proper religious people who teach them the correct way to worship the Emperor. So I don't know much about the Alpha Legion. What kind of stuff did they do? This question for Hollow. But yeah, we get up to some crazy stuff sometimes with our role playing.
Yes.
And generally we manage to do it without becoming like murder hobos, so I'll take it.
Yeah, I feel like being a murder hobo is essentially it's the cheap way out. So I want to use my head when doing something, even if even if being a murder hobo would be in character, I still would want to do something that's both in character and extremely fun, for lack of a better way to phrase it.
Hollow says, technically worshipping the Emperor in itself is wrong, though. Which, yeah, I feel like one of the hard challenges with the current, like the universe, like some people treat it as religion, some don't. It's almost like because no one knows what the Emperor's original intention was, it's like it's hard for people to keep track of what he actually wanted. And I have to wonder, if the Emperor had seen that, would he have laughed? They all introduced themselves as Alfarius. Okay, that's kind of intense.
Yeah. Finally took a moment to really look at the robot. He's pretty nice looking.
Thank you. I am kind of pleased with how he's coming out. I didn't expect to spend my whole evening or whole time drawing this dream working on a robot, but I kind of like how he's coming along.
Yeah. I noticed the rest of the room was kind of left alone, so since I'm done with my guy, just moving on to the rest of the room.
It's because I wasn't sure how much would be eclipsed by the glow of the weapon.
Right.
Because technically I was going to draw the glow of the weapon. We might go a little later than we did last time. Because So I'm kind of having fun.
That's what's important.
So they all introduce themselves as Alfarius, which is why the current theory of where the real Alfarius is that he is hiding amongst his legion, and no one will ever know since you can't really trust an Alpha Legionnaire. There is so much to learn about 40k. I am so behind on the lore.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I was at the thrift store earlier, and I found a Warhammer 40k book for 75 cents called Scourge the Heretic, written by Sandy Mitchell.
Apparently it's got fair ratings too on Amazon.
Yeah. It is a story about an inquisitor.
You'll have to read it and let us know how it is.
Hopefully I'll have time. Things are going to be pretty busy for me off stream for the next few months.
Trying to get things packed up and stuff.
Exactly. Speaking of which, I also got packing tape today.
Awesome. Yeah, so Joseph is planning on moving in with me a little later this year.
Yes. We both want to start a business together, and we both realized it's not really feasible while we're apart.
The book is called Scourge the Heretic by Sandy Mitchell, which is apparently a pseudonym for an author named Alex Stewart. I put the name of the book in the chat that he picked up. You said you got it for what, 75 cents?
Yes, I got it for 75 cents at the thrift store.
Man, that's a really good deal. On that note, a couple of the books I got came from the thrift store as well. I think I paid like $1 for them.
Nice. And recently, I was looking through my collection of books as I was packing them. I found I had the Tyranids book for the game.
You probably don't know for what edition of the game, though, huh?
Probably not, but it looks similar to some of the stuff you got before I came back over here.
I'm pretty sure it's an early version, like 4th edition or something like that.
Ah.
So the lore in there would still be a fun read through, even if the rules themselves are out of date.
Right.
I like how this robot's coming along. I am like taking the ultimate gamble at the moment. I am intentionally not saving because I want to see if it'll crash or not. That and I am. I figure we can both save it, so I'll just let you rely on saving the game, and I'll work on making sure my draw pile in solid state.
Saving the game?
Or sorry, the drawing.
Oh yes, I always save the drawing, and now that I've also got a lot of drives for clearance today, I have a lot of space for art now. Today was just a good day for finding stuff.
How old does the book look?
I shall check.
Oh, he's talking about Tyranids. It's going to be 3rd edition or 4th edition. I'm not entirely sure. He sent me a picture of it, and it's pretty old looking.
Yeah, but Scourge the Heretic was 2008 though. But as far as Tyranids, I'll have. Yeah, it's not in here. I'll be right back. I'll go grab it.
Mm-hmm. What do I want to do with this other arm? Maybe a circular cannon of some kind. So the nice thing about this drawing is, this program, since it's collaborative, even if I don't save it, Joseph's been saving it the whole time. So,
Yeah, and I can send him a copy of the save file too.
so I've never done this before, but the program crashed for me once before, and so I'm curious. You're right though. That should be the reason, but I'm going to consider it a mark of victory if I manage to finish the whole drawing without it crashing.
Yeah. Well, here it is. Warhammer 40k Codex Tyranids. Let's see here.
Silly reason, yes, but and I never would do it at all if it wasn't a collaborative save thing on both ends.
Right. Anyway, 2017 is the date I see inside the book.
2017? Maybe it's not as old as I was thinking it was. Maybe I'm getting my books and yours mixed up because I recently just got one as well. Oh, I think I have the covers mixed up in my head. Okay, so mine might be the really old one and yours may not. Is this Google Chat? Is that one yours?
Checking. Yes, that's it.
Okay, so that one's yours. His is, I don't know what edition it is, 2017. Mine is somewhere. One moment. Tyranids, Eldar, Deathwatch, there it is, Tyranids. Okay, so mine is the old one. Mine is from 2000 and I just looked at it and I already forgot.
I hate it when that happens.
Mine's from 2009.
Yeah, I know one time I was just looking at the thrift store and I was just looking at stuff, and it was before our current craze of looking at Warhammer 40k, so I knew it from when Sam first introduced me to it, and just hearing about it here and there, I was like, oh, this looks good. So I bought it. So I bought it then and brought it home, and it was a nice treat to see I already had this as I was looking through my stuff.
The one book I got back then was like the 4th edition Black Templar book, and I've had that one for 8 years now.
Ah.
And I've never even finished reading the whole thing. And then when I started getting more into 40k recently, I was like, oh, now I can pull that thing out. And I've been slowly reading through all my 40k stuff. I just finished my the first part of the Night Lords omnibus, the Night Lords book 1. out of a trilogy that's in there.
Okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Glad you realized that. I'm hoping you're current on the stream's timeline now.
I think I'm gonna, whoops. I think I'm gonna just add some thicker inks back in here. My 5-year-old loves all things Space Marines at the moment. The 2009 is 5th edition? Okay, so it's not quite as old as I thought it was. Or sorry, that was right, quite as old. I really like the black and white art in a lot of the old ones. It's very different than the art in the new books is really different than the art in the old books. It's really kind of neat to see the difference.
Yeah, recently, the official Warhammer YouTube channel was putting up videos celebrating 40 years of Warhammer and Warhammer 40K, and they're showing off some of the books and the artwork. Yeah, that's just the first edition's artwork's just something special.
Chansey Chio's was the 2017 Tyranids book. Looks like I'm hesitant to guess 7th or 8th edition.
Seventh or eighth.
It's the one with like the green border around the whole outside of the book.
Greenish gray.
Greenish gray.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to add just some indicators for the blast here in a moment. We might call this for tonight.
Okay.
But I like how this thing's been coming along.
Me too. My character's the only one in color.
Yeah. 8th edition.
Okay, that's good to know.
I'm just not super fast with drawing.
Yeah, my style / skill level may not be the same as Sam's, but at least it does allow for some level of speed. Though if I'm really drawing something more intricate, I guess it can take me some time.
The robot looks very knightly. I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's definitely a knightly looking robot.
That's what Hollow said. He likes it. I'm glad.
Ah, okay.
All right, so let's just put some indicators up here for this blast, getting ready to kind of do its thing.
Okay.
Let's see. It's 10:09 for me. What do you say? 6 more minutes?
Yeah, 6 more minutes ought to do.
one more layer. Start throwing just a little bit of red stuff on here, just in a few places.
You know, looking at miniatures as often as I have, I feel like that's kind of affected my art.
You think so?
Yeah. I feel like I drew my character kind of like how I would draw if I were trying to create a miniature. I feel like that's how it would turn out.
I can see that. Just trying to slap some of this in to kind of indicate some of where this blast might have covered. We've been getting ready to. I've been drawing this whole time without zooming in.
Yeah. The only time I zoomed in was for my character. And then I added some minor details unzoomed in. And I did everything else unzoomed in.
I like to draw zoomed out just because that's kind of how...
Zoomed out, zoomed in, zoomed out, sorry.
I like to draw zoomed out because that's typically how most people are going to see it.
Right. I'm still trying to figure out how to draw zoomed out while still looking good.
Takes some getting used to. I try to treat it just like I'm drawing on paper because I can't zoom in on paper.
Right. I feel like I can make things out much better on paper than digital.
Okay, let's grab just a little bit of extra. Start hitting just a few other places. We should do another stream where we try to finish this one up.
That would be nice.
I don't want us to get into the habit of like starting a bunch of stuff that we never finish.
I can understand that.
Okay, this brush has some issues. Where's the other one I was using? Yeah, if we're going to be doing art stuff, I want us to be making our best effort to finish them, or at least getting them to a really, really presentable place. I think it'll be good for everyone, unless we specifically say that, hey, this is a sketch night. I don't think it'd be bad to have some sketch nights once in a while.
Yeah.
Well, my thing's got at least a little color on it now. All right, and that is time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much to everyone was able to join us, and thanks to Hollow for conversing with us while we worked on this. This was a lot of fun. I look forward to continuing to develop this world out and continuing to share it with people. I think that role-playing it is going to be a great idea for that, and also gives us an opportunity to get feedback and thoughts from other people as we work on this. So
Right.
Joseph will be streaming tomorrow, FGO sometimes during the day, and then it sounds like, was it tomorrow night you were going to do your next
Yes.
D&D thing?
Yes, so plugging my channel here. Not only will I be streaming some FGO interludes tomorrow, but after that, I will be streaming my solo roleplay of Zanzer's Dungeon from the Dungeons and Dragons Black Box from 1991.
So
Yeah.
check that out tomorrow evening if you're interested, and everyone have a good night.
All right, good night, everybody.